Hello and welcome to this week's video. I'm Dolly Rivero, broker and real estate coach with Elite KY Homes here in Louisville, Kentucky. I come to you as promised with the most frequent questions of the week. So the first question comes from Sergio, and he says, I live in Florida and want to buy a house in Kentucky. How do I do that? So there are two things that we need to look at prior to answering the question. First, are you gonna be living at the property, or is this an investment property? If it's an investment property, you can give 20% down, and it doesn't really matter where you live as long as you have the money to buy it. If you're gonna live in the property, then comes the following question. Do you have a job that doesn't really matter where you live, that you're gonna be able to continue with the same job? Or do you have to find another job in order to support this mortgage? So if your answer is, well, I have to find out a job first, look for a job, get a job, and then apply for the house, well, that's what we need to do. You have to be at that specific job for 1 month at least. So whenever you get hired on, you moved, you get hired on, just give us a call. We'll be able to guide you through the next step. In the other hand, if you have a job that it doesn't really matter where you work, where you live, because the work is going to be the same, and most common those jobs would be a software engineer. They could work from home, and a truck driver. You work everywhere, so it doesn't really matter where you live. And there are some other jobs like that as well. So, but most common, if you're gonna come to Kentucky and you want to buy a house here, just move, find a job, and after a month at that job, just give us a call and we'll start the process. Okay? The following question is, what are closing costs? Closing cost, and I have already mentioned this in another previous videos, at Elite KY Homes, we have an official page here on Facebook. Closing costs are costs associated with the purchase of your house. So a seller has closing costs of their own, and a buyer has closing costs of their own. Everything could be negotiated whenever you are selling or buying. But these are costs associated with the purchase. The following question is, I filed bankruptcy about a year ago. When can I start the process of buying a house? So you have to wait at least 2 years from when the bankruptcy was discharged. So if it was discharged last June, you have to wait 2 years after that June to start the process. The only exception is if you were to, if you filed a house within that bankruptcy. If that was the case, then we have to wait 3 years instead 2. Okay? The other question, and the last question is, my daughter is 19 years old and she's a US citizen, and can she buy a house? We just opened a company this past year, and we have been paying her even though she goes to college. So can she buy a house? Yes, she can. So I'm gonna address this in 3 steps. First, she's 19. So as long as you're a legal age, 18 or older, and you have a good credit and you have the income, then you qualify. Age doesn't really matter. There's never too young or too old to buy a house. The second comment that I wanted to make in this question that you made is, she's a US citizen. That's great. But if you are not a US citizen, if you are a US resident, or you have some sort of visa, then call us. We'll be able to help. Not all visas qualify, but some of them do. So not necessarily, you don't have to be a US citizen to qualify. I mean, that's great, but if you're not, that's also great, and we can help on that. And lastly, the only issue that I see here is the income. You just started your company last year, and you're paying her 1099 for your previous messages. Then that's a little issue, because whenever you are buying a house and you're self-employed, because if you are a 1099, you are considered self-employed, then you have to have 2 years worth of 1099s. You have to be employed, well, with your business for 2 years, so the bank can average those two out and come up with a good average income for your business. So in her case, that's the only issue I see. You only have been in business for 1 year, paying her 1099. Then we need to wait till next year to see what her income is. However, next year, just come to us first before filing. We would love to see the taxes, and we would love to help you and guide you on what to do to make sure that you can qualify for a home. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for sharing, liking, and commenting. So if you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please give us a call, 502-500-4124, or at the office is 502-851-6518. Thank you so much and have a great day.